And it is the every other Wednesday night radio program known as Chuck Dale's Combo Corner.
Yes, it's Chuck Dale with Chuck Dale's Combo Corner. Welcome, everybody, again. It only happens every other Wednesday, but, boy, it's the only show like this in the entire world. Wouldn't you say, Bob?
Absolutely. And the fact that it's every other Wednesday makes it that much more special.
Right. I mean, if we did it every Wednesday, it would just be...
It wouldn't be every other Wednesday.
No, it wouldn't.
Because then the folks really have to look at the calendar.
Yeah, they have to pay special
attention. Yes,
that's correct. Anyway, we're here with my friend Phillip Kraft today.
Hello. It's good
Yes,
to be here.
there he goes, yes.
I appreciate Chuck for having me on the show tonight. It's a real honor. I love being here.
Yeah, I mean, Phillip has been around Winston-Salem playing his guitar like that, and I can't believe we have out live music. That's so great, you know.
Oh, it's wonderful.
We don't every time. Phillip, tell us a little bit about your background here in music.
Well, I guess really I started listening to music. I was the youngest of four siblings, so I got exposed to stuff that teenagers were being exposed to when I was about 2 years old. So the Beatles were my first influence. And I guess when the Beatles broke up, all the separate Beatles, independently, who did their solo projects, became my favorite musicians. And basically, I got into a lot of different types of music. I loved all the bands that were out. I mean, I loved Chicago and Sills and Crofts and everything that was out at the time. And really got into Grand Funk Railroad and stuff like that, and Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, everything that everybody was into at the time. I took a interest in Jimmy Page, and he did acoustic guitar, which turned me on to acoustic guitar, and Alex Lifeson of Rush. And eventually some other guys too. Yes, I mean they did a lot of acoustic stuff, and finally one day I heard Chet Atkins, and my dad said, "You got to see Chet Atkins, Phillip. He's the best guitarist in the world." I was like, "Oh, yeah, you sure?" But when I sat down and watched him, I said, "Yeah, you're right. He is the best guitarist in the world." so it occurred to me, what is the only way anybody to get to be that good? And I thought, well, Chet, he's obviously listening to every kind of music there is and combines them all. I thought, well, that's probably what you got to do. So I started listening to everything. And I started listening to old blues, Robert Johnson. I started listening to Janko Reinhardt, Charlie Christian, Wes Montgomery, and just the old rock stuff, the Yardbirds. I mean, old Eric Clapton stuff. I mean, just anything I get my hands on. And a lot of that's attributed to the Record Exchange, where I bought a lot of this stuff.
The Record Exchange, yes. From 1980 to 1990, it was quite a place to hang out and to buy records, and me and my buddy Ed Bumgardner were there, and it was just really a blast to be there, and we had quite a time there. So you were there, and you were only 3 feet tall at that time, right?
Well, I hit a girl on stage before I came here, but yeah, I was there at a very young age, and Sam Moss was a big influence, and I took lessons from Sam, on and off, starting at age 14. And at that time, probably when I was at racetrack, I was taking lessons very consistently. And he was telling me, you need to go back and listen to the roots of rock and roll. And you need to listen to these guys. He recommended Charlie Christian and those guys. And Johnny Winter was like, so you got to hear this. You got to hear, Good Morning Little Squirrel Girl. I mean, you got to hear that, Phillip, And so he was into everything. And Jeff Beck. And he loved fingerstyle stuff. He saw me bring the Chet in. He said, well, I brought in James Taylor. He said, Phillip, when you have any trouble with James Taylor, reach for your capo. And but he loved Paul Simon and a lot of stuff that you wouldn't have expected Sam to really get into. He was into it. If you took lessons from him, he really is very versatile, and he had a lot of interest. He loved everything, and that just worked out great for me.
Yeah, that's Sam was a good teacher. I of course played with him in 1967 when I moved here. From Atlanta, and we got a band together immediately. And so Sam, I was amazed at how he could play Purple Haze and Incense and Peppermints and that stuff in 1967. That was pretty incredible. Let's go ahead and play one of the songs that we have here that you've recorded. Tell us about this first one we're going to do.
Okay, this first one is called Rockin' in the Rain, and this is a song that I wrote in 1995. If you can believe this, I actually wrote the song from a dream I had. Of course, I had my multi-track recorder with all the different, mix down tools like compressors and stuff. And basically, I had a friend of mine come in and play the drum track. He's a very good drummer. Not many people know who he is around here. He's from Charlotte. His name is Greg Tuttle. He plays the drum tracks on this. And it's just a real fun song. It's a vocal tune, and it's a rocking song. So "Rockin' in the Rain," yeah, kind of fits the title.
Okay, cool. Let's hear it.
Sorry about that, Chief. We've got an extra 15 seconds here showing on the countdown clock.
Is that right?
Yeah, so we're done. So the song's over.
Rockin' in the Rain. Phillip
like
Kraft.
that. That was great. Thank you.
A lot of people don't know Phillip for playing electric guitar, so we did that one because he's known for his acoustic prowess. Mm-hmm. Tell us about, in last 2 weeks ago's guest, Byron Hill.
Yes. Byron Hill, when I was maybe 14, going on into 15, I took lessons from Byron Hill at Dixie Music Company. And he was a great teacher. He had great teaching skill. And he saw some potential in me. And when he left to go to Nashville, he was supposed to give me to the other teacher there at the music store. And he said, well, hey, don't tell anybody this, but I know a better teacher, and I think that you deserve a better teacher. And so he wrote down a piece of paper and handed it to me. I read it, and it said Sam Moss, and it had a telephone number. And so that's how I met Sam Moss. So,
And that led into you being a music teacher yourself, then a guitar teacher, right?
Absolutely. I took from Sam, I took lessons on and off for about 4 years. And then he opened his store, and I was a regular customer. One day I was in there, and in February of 1987, he had opened the apartments upstairs to use as a teaching studio. And he was in there one day. I was in there, and he said, Phil, have you thought about teaching? And I said, well, a little bit. I did taught the Sea Park. And he said, would you like to teach here? And I said, well, yeah. And he said, well, good. I'm glad I got you instead of them. And so ended up I was teaching there. I was still working my copier job at Hinkle's. And Peter May was teaching there also. And at some point, Peter May wanted to stop teaching, so I got all of Peter May's. I had close to 50 students, so I just quit my copier job and went full-time at Sam's for a while.
Wow, 50 students.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit. Let's do a song here live in the studio. What you like to do?
Okay, well, I'll do, I have a tendency to do a lot of medleys rather. They're very melodic, but they're medleys. But one that I do a whole lot is it's a combination of a Carpenter song, or Leon Russell, I should say, Long Ago and Far Away. And it's got mix a little bit of fingers down flamenco into it, but and it goes into the Peanuts theme at some point. Then it goes, so it's kind of like a strange abrupt change, abrupt.
All right, Philip Kraft. Very good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. That's what I know you is doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I know you've played quite a bit at featured performer at Muddy Creek.
Yes.
And of course, we got the news that Muddy Creek will be closing at the end of the year. Are you going to be playing some more out there before the end of the year?
Yes. In fact, my next performance here is on July 14th, which is a Sunday. I'll be there from 1 to 3 o'clock. Come out and see me. In fact, I will be there every month this year until they close. So check Muddy Creek's calendar, and I would love to see y'all come by. And you see all my friends there and everything. Yeah.
That's great. Anyway, you want to talk about Chet Atkins for a minute?
Yeah.
Meeting Chet Atkins?
Yes, absolutely. Met Chet. The thing, yeah, of course, as I mentioned earlier, that my father turned me on to Chet Atkins, and I was skeptical until I sat down and listened to him, and then realized that this is what I want. I want to combine different styles, but at some point, it was actually when I was teaching guitar at Sam Moss full time in 1988. I decided to take a trip to the National Guitar Summer Workshop, and I got on this flight, and a very hectic flight, and I went up to New Milford, Connecticut, and got in this dorm room, and basically got to meet Chet Atkins, do a seminar up there. And it was weird because basically at some point I turned around and looked at him face to face, and I said, "Well, hi, Chet," and and he looked up at me. He's like, at first he thought he knew me because at the time I had a mustache. I looked a little bit like Mark O'Connor, who was a famous fiddle player, and so finally when he saw how nervous I was, he realized that I was definitely nobody famous, and But I got to see him explain how he does all of his techniques and everything like that. And it was a good experience.
Wow, it's always great when you can meet one of your idols. That's pretty cool.
You ready to take a break for just a few moments?
If that's what's happening, Bob.
We're watching the newscast time come up, so that's what we'll do. Philip Kraft is in the studio live.
That was amazing, Philip.
Yeah, really great.
Appreciate
really great having you here. 761-1380 is the number if you'd like to call and say hey or talk a little bit.
And also www 1380.
Yeah, WTOB980.com.
Yes.
For to listen or just hang out there because you can listen with the apps and everything. And we know a lot of our listeners are at the beach because they've been tweeting in all of their requests with pictures from the coast. So we're down there. We're wherever they're vacationing. One guy was at Cherry Grove, and the other fellow was another guy up at Topsail over the last couple of days. So,
and I would like to mention that, of course, every Wednesday when we do have the show, where there's either a fire at Mr. Barbecue or
Cook's Flea Market.
Cook's Flea Market. Today we had the bomb scare
at the Forsyth County Hall of Justice.
It's always something happening on Chuck Dale's Combo Corner. That's for sure.
On the day, yeah, that's exactly right. I remember that because Debbie called up when Mr. Barbecue was on fire.
Yes,
and then we heard in the news that the Cook's Flea Market was on fire, and Chuck Dale's Combo Corner is always
exploding with stuff.
Right. Unbelievable. There's Randy Simpson driving by. He's coming in at 7. He's looking for a place to park. And
very busy downtown.
It is. Today. It's busy today. Beautiful weather heading into the 4th. We'll be back in just a moment. You're listening to the greatest every other Wednesday radio program on WTOB live from Trade Street. It's Chuck Dale's Combo Corner. We'll be back with Philip Kraft in just a moment.
From the Arts District on Trade Street, this is Winston-Salem's home for classic hits, WTOB.
Fox News, I'm Steve Rappaport. The stage is set in the nation's capital for what President Trump promises to be the best 4th of July parade ever.
In addition to tanks and military vehicles on the ground, the event will feature flyovers from each branch of the military, including a B-2 stealth bomber, F-22 Raptor, F-35 stealth fighter, as well as Air Force One, Marine One, and an aerial show by the Navy's Blue Angels.
Fox's Garrett Tenney. Critics accuse the president of politicizing the holiday. Charges dropped against an Alabama woman who lost her fetus when she was shot during a fight. A grand jury indicted Marsha Jones for manslaughter.
But Jefferson County DA Lanice Washington says she won't pursue the charges any further, saying it's not in the best interest of justice.
And no further legal action will be taken against Ms. Jones in this matter.
Washington says her decision does not reflect on the grand jury's work in the case.
Fox's Gernal Scott. This is Fox News.
What is Total Auto Care? Simply stated, it's everything involved with your vehicle. And in the Triad, your vehicle go-to place is Pat's Body Shop and Towing. Pat's offers mechanical services, including tires, brakes, alignments, and diagnostics. Interior repair, including headliners, seat repairs, convertible tops, and carpets. Collision services from minor dents and dings to major repairs. Detailing, including washing, waxing, and ceramic coating. And 24-hour towing. Since 1964, Pat's is your bumper-to-bumper total auto care solution. Call 336-945-3767.
Jughead's Growlers and Pints at the bottom of the hill on Country Club Road is heading into their 4th year with 32 taps of great local North Carolina beer and only North Carolina beer. From Murphy to Mandio, Jughead's visits each craft brewery to assure that you are getting the absolute best quality. Jughead's features a large and rotating mix of North Carolina beers, many you won't find anywhere else in town or in the Triad. Stop by Jughead's Growlers and Pints today. Mention this ad for 15% off your entire purchase. Beer, souvenirs, all of it. Open 7 days a week at 4843 Country Club Road between Dukes and Let It Grow. Great atmosphere, great North Carolina craft beers and ciders. Jughead's, only North Carolina beer on tap. Like Jughead's on Facebook and follow Instagram for the food truck schedule and daily specials. Jughead's.
Would you like to retire the job and keep the paycheck? Who wouldn't, right? You know, retiring successfully is no accident. You need a plan. And the sooner you get started, the better off you'll be. Doug Ray of the Wealth Guardians Show here. We've helped hundreds of Triad families retire and maintain their lifestyle. Get started with my free report. The 5 things your retirement plan must have to be successful, sent right to your email. Just go to our website, that's thewealthguardians.com, and click on the Media tab, and you'll find my free report ready to download. It's that simple. There's no cost or obligation, so you got nothing to lose. Remember, what got you to retirement may not necessarily get you through retirement. Make sure you got it right. Find out what you need to have in place to maintain your lifestyle in retirement at thewealthguardians.com.
We are Forsyth Mower Works.
Forsyth Mower Works has a variety of lawn and garden equipment second to none, and they are proud distributors of Steel, Echo, Bobcat, Exmark, Cub Cadet, Honda, and many more brands. The parts and service department will take care of your equipment long after your purchase. Call 336-768-8888. Click ForsythMowerWorks.com or see the showroom at 2956 Griffith Road, Winston-Salem.
We are Forsyth Mower Works.
The Winston-Salem Dash's 10th anniversary season at BB&T Ballpark is here. Come out for the best entertainment in the Triad. Enjoy great promotions like free food, that's right, free food Mondays, Lowe's Foods Thirsty Thursdays, Pubs in the Park Night presented by Handy and Handy Orthodontics, and Fireworks Fridays. For tickets, which start as low as $8, call the Dash at 336-714-2287 or visit ws-.com. That's ws-.com.
Start your day off right with a delicious breakfast from Cloverdale Kitchen. Dino and Johnny are proud to announce their new breakfast entrees: breakfast burritos, Philly cheesesteak omelets, breakfast stacks, banana foster pancakes and French toast, gluten-free pancakes, and chicken and waffles, plus daily breakfast specials, along with a wide variety of mouth-watering seafood, country fried steak, ribeyes, fried chicken, hot and cold sandwiches, pasta, pitas, and wraps, and delicious salads, all for lunch. And they also have tasty desserts to tickle your taste buds. Cloverdale Kitchen's new hours are 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Let them cater your next corporate event or party. Cloverdale Kitchen, serving the Triad for over 50 years. Dine in, take out, or have your meal delivered. Check them out too on the web at cloverdalekitchen.com or call them at 336-725-4701. Cloverdale Kitchen, Cloverdale Shopping Center, Winston-Salem. Open 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Absolutely the best home-cooked food in town. Cloverdale Kitchen, next to Harris Theater in the Cloverdale Shopping Center, Winston-Salem.
And Cloverdale Kitchen is open tomorrow, regular business hours, 6 a.m. till 3 p.m. Go get some great breakfast there at Cloverdale Kitchen, served all day.
The official radio station for Carolina Thunderbirds hockey, WTOB.
It is the best every other Wednesday night radio program in Winston-Salem, live from Trade Street, Chuck Dale's Combo Corner.
I think it's the greatest show on earth.
Hey, we can use that now.
Yes, we can. Chuck Dale's Combo Corner with Phillip Kraft today. You hanging in there, Phillip?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you feel like a radio star?
Oh, I'm loving this.
Okay, great. Let's talk about that trip we went on. Where was it? To a NAMM show in Atlanta?
Yes, June of 1988. And, yeah, we took two cars. You know, I was familiar with Atlanta, Georgia, because I'd been training on copiers down there with companies. And so Sam said, well, I'll follow you. He was in the car behind you. You were in Sam's car, and I think Eric Marshall and Mike and Peter Haas. In my car, I had John Hayes.
German Peter Haas.
Yes. Z-Pete. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And that's how I actually got my screen name. He used to call me Z-Pete. He was my guitar student also. And he'd say Z-Pete. And so I went downstairs to get, guitar strings. Sam would always write on the receipt, Z-Phil. So I kind of got that. Z-Phil is now Z-Phil at AOL.com is now my screen name. My screen name for AOL. Yeah.
So who were some of the people we saw? The Tim Bogert from the Vanilla Fudge. Who else?
Yeah, Tim Bogert. We also Tom Schultz from Boston. We got his autograph. And some others that maybe I haven't mentioned to you so much. I saw Jerry Peak, who was at one time the bass player for the Steve Morse Band. And then, of course, there's the Westin Peachtree, that huge round hotel. They've got an auditorium in there. We watched the show in there, and we had, of course, the Albert Lee Band. And we got pictures of the Albert Lee I got one next to Peter Haas. And then we took a lot of pictures of, Steve Morse, and I got a picture of me standing next to Steve Morse. Strangely, Vinnie Moore, the metal guitar god, was in the audience right next to me watching Steve Morse, and I got a picture standing next to him. Mm-hmm. But it was a great show because, Steve Morse is definitely one of my favorite guitar players.
I think that's the one where I met James Burton in the hot dog line.
Really?
Yeah, he was in the hot dog line. Yeah, that was pretty cool. And I flipped out, and I got a piece of paper and got his autograph. And of course, I ever tell you about the time I opened up for Albert Lee at Muddy Creek?
Oh, yeah. I heard about that, yeah.
It was great. He played there 2 or 3 times. Maybe he'll come back out before it closes up. Let's do another song here, The Land I Love. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, this song was actually, started writing this song in 1988, and but the recording here is like the second recording I did. It's recorded in 1999 on Tascam 688, and it's an old recording, but I like it. It's got like a lot of different guitar parts, and it's even got a B bender type telly in it.
B bender, okay. G. Michael Cochran, are you listening?
Yes, I know he's the expert B bender, but I've also got a mandolin part in there, and it's difficult to play the song solo, but I love it. So and it's The Land I Love comes from the land that I grew up on, and that's what I had in mind when I wrote it. Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's hear it. All right, The Land I Love, Phillip Kraft. That was a neat piece there.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So did you do everything on that?
Yeah, that's all me. Yeah.
And it's got the Telecaster, and what else you got going on that?
Yeah, it's got the B-Bender Telecaster, and it's got an acoustic guitar, and basically it's of course the bass guitar, and it's got the rhythm programming, and so trying to get a full, almost like I try to combine a new age sound with a down home, Appalachian country sound. Yeah.
That was very good. Tell us about your mother played piano. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, she was a very, very accomplished piano, and her name is Eileen Kraft. She was originally Eileen Davis. And actually, for people who are old timers, if they're still alive, they might even remember seeing her play at downtown Winston-Salem because she was playing in public at age 13. She was so good at sight reading that she could actually sit in they used to have dime stores and stuff in those days.
Yep.
And she could sit there if somebody wanted to buy a piece of sheet music and they wanted to know what it sounded like, she could actually sit there and play it for them so they would know whether to buy it or not.
That's cool. Yeah. And so you heard her playing a lot in the home then?
Absolutely. She played a lot. She told me that she even played piano when I was in her womb. My older sister also was a very accomplished classical guitar as well. I mean, classical pianist as well. Here, I'm getting mixed up.
That's cool. So you never mess with the piano at all, or? I
do some. I need to kind of get back into it more, but I do use it mostly just for recording parts on multi-track and stuff like that. Yeah, I play some bass and I play some drums. Bang around, do stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, why don't we do another song live?
Okay.
What'd you like to do?
Well, one of the first arrangements that I really did, as far as taking somebody else's songs, a pop song, and kind of putting a semi-classical technique to it, was like a medley also. And I take the MASH theme and I combine it with two Carpenter songs. And I'll try not to spread out too much, but a lot of people when I play want to hear this. Got to drop D. Okay.
right, you've been listening to Phillip Kraft. We're going to take a short break here and be back with you.
I'm Philomena Wampler with Piedmont Federal Savings Bank, and we invite you to get into the holiday spirit for Christmas in July by donating much-needed items to Senior Services. Senior Services of Winston-Salem helps older adults live at home with dignity as long as possible. Now through the end of July, all Piedmont Federal branches in Forsyth County are collection points for non-perishable food and personal care items to share with our seniors. Visit PiedmontFederal.bank to see a list of requested items. Thank you for your support.
In difficult moments, it's important to have a shoulder to lean on to help get you through. Critical illness, grief at the loss of a loved one, or guidance in planning for the future needs of your family are those times when you can come to rely on us. Trellis Supportive Care is in York to learn more about the services available to you today.
It's the every other Wednesday night radio program. We're going to come up with an official lead-in at some point in time, but it's Chuck Dale's Combo Corner.
The greatest show on earth. Chuck Dale's Combo Corner.
Minus the elephants.
We have Phillip Kraft here, and we got a note here from Byron Hill, who is listening from Nashville, Tennessee. Hey, Byron. He said to say hello to Phillip. How about that?
Oh, that's great. I'm glad to hear from Byron. I'm so glad that you called him Byron. And I appreciate everything that you've done for me. You're a great inspiration and a great guitar teacher. And you also introduced me to Sam Moss, which opened up many doors.
There you go. And here's the rest of the story, right?
I like that story that he recognized in you, that Byron recognized in you something that needed a little more, something more better.
Yeah.
For lack of a better way to describe it. That he thought enough of what he saw in you to hand you that note with a phone number, with Sam's phone number on it.
Yes, he did recognize, did seem to recognize, indicate that he recognized talent in me, and he wanted me to have, and he didn't really do this for too many of his guitar students, but he did it for me, and of course he was leaving, to go to Nashville, and he recommended me Sam Moss, and he wanted me to have the best guitar teacher that he could think of that would really expand me. And I really appreciate that, because meeting Sam really opened up so many doors. I mean, it really...
You got to meet Chuck Dale.
That's right.
Okay, yeah. Now you're on the radio, right?
Right.
But anyway, we had a great show with Byron the last time, and this is a great show too. All the Chuck Dale shows are great, and they're all different, aren't they, Bob?
Absolutely, and I think that just sort of, it's a reflection of what is taking place in Winston-Salem, and it will continue to expand.
That is true.
You know, it may be more than we may have to lose the slogan of best every other Wednesday night radio.
That is true. It may be.
But we talked when we actually started thinking about doing this. We said, well, okay, we'll start out doing every other week, and then as things go along, we'll take that slot on every Wednesday night.
Yeah, there's enough talent to carry on that way. Let's do another one of the songs in the studio. What would you like to do, Phillip?
Well, there's one song that I do live, and a lot of people tell me it's the favorite song I do. And with the act I'm doing now with the fingerstyle acoustic, and it's an original song that I wrote in November 2014. It's a love song, and usually some of my female audience members will say, "Hey, do that beautiful love song," and it's called "Back to Where We Are Now," and this is a live recording from the music hall, but it's a good quality recording, so I think that would be a good one to do.
Okay, back to where we are now?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's do it. back to where we are now. Applause. Back to where we are now. Phillip Kraft. It's been a pleasure, Phillip, having you on Chuck Dale's Combo Corner.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you having me. I'd love to come back sometime.
Yeah, and what's the date of your next show at Muddy Creek?
July the 14th.
And every Sunday?
Well, about one Sunday out of the month, and it's the shows run from 1 to 3 p.m.
Okay. Check out Phillip Kraft at Muddy Creek, and check out Chuck Dale's Combo Corner in 2 weeks. How about that, Bob?
That'll be great. Now, I'm seeing posts on Facebook that indicate that you're going to tell the story. There's a story.
Yes, there is a story about Chuck Dale's Combo Corner. It originated at Reynolds High School. It was sort of a place we congregated, and I will reveal the true story of Chuck Dale's Combo Corner. It was just Combo's Corner there, and now I've made it my own.
That's right. And who remembers anyway from way back then?
I think there will be some that will.
Yes. And they'll have to come. They'll have to call.
They'll have to come forward. Yes.
Yes, they'll have to come forward at that time. Okay. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening, Phillip. Thanks for being in the studio with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
It was a great show, Phillip.
Phenomenal music, and you're welcome back anytime. And we'll make sure that there's a calendar open sometime in the near future.
Thank
All
you.
right. That's every other Wednesday night radio show on WTOB. Chuck Dale's Combo Corner. We'll be back in 2 weeks.